Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to add video calling to your website using ZEGOCLOUD UI kits. This video is sponsored by ZEGOCLOUD, and they have a really easy to use API that lets you do real-time video, audio, live streaming, anything of those sorts, and you can implement them into your code really easily with barely any code. You can sign up at ZEGOCLOUD.com or go to the first link in the description and you'll get 10,000 free minutes of video calling. They have tons of UI kits and components, and they're fully open source. You guys can use them on any platform from iOS to Android to React Native to just plain web, which is what we're going to be doing today. After you log in, you want to go to your console, which is at this link right here, and then press create your project. You guys can see that we've got 10,000 minutes here. You guys can see there's many options here that you can select for your app, but we're going to be going with voice and video call. And then we're going to press next. We're going to add a simple name. I'm just going to call this YouTube demo. And then we're going to click on start with UI kits, which will make it super easy for us. And we're going to use web. Now just wait a moment for it to get created. Alright guys, it's been created. So we're just going to click start building our app. And then we're going to click on for web here. We're going to keep everything just as it is, and we're going to press save and start to integrate. Now we're just going to click this button here. You guys should get your app ID and server secret. They're blurred out in my video because they're secret and you should not have these publicized, but yours should be there, and you want to make sure you copy this because we're going to put these in your code. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to open VS Code like this, and we're going to make a simple project. We're going to open the terminal, which you can also do by going up here and pressing new terminal. First, we're going to type npm init-y, and that's going to create a simple npm project for us. Then we're going to do npm I meaning install of course, and then express cores and also .env. Now once everything's been installed, now let's make some files. First, we're going to create a .env file. Inside of our env file, we're going to set the app ID, and we're going to set that equal to what we have in here. And we're also going to get our server secret, and we're going to set that to what's in here. Next, we're going to close that, and we're going to create a new file called server.js. We're also going to create a folder called public, which is where our HTML is going to go. And we're just going to put an index.html in here. In the HTML file, we're just going to put an exclamation mark and press enter, which will generate some default code for us. We're just going to call the title testing, and we're going to add some basic styles in here that we're going to need. Inside the body, all we're going to do is just add a div, and we're going to give it an ID of root. Of course, we're going to need a script tag right here that will get the code from here, from ZEGOCLOUD, which will make it all work. Now, really important, you guys want to make sure you have this right here. It's going to make sure that we have all the libraries, so this will all work. Next, let's go to our server.js file. Now we're going to add some imports first. So we're going to import Express, Cores, and Crypto. Now these all have their different uses. And first, we're going to make a simple Express app. Let's create the Express app. Next, let's get our environment secrets. So we're going to require .env, which is the thing we imported. Then we're going to get them as variables like this, and we're going to just warn the user if they haven't set them yet. But if you do everything like I say and you added your things to the env file, this should not be printed. The next part that we're going to write is for token generation, and it's kind of long and complicated. All you need to do is just paste it in. If you've been writing the code here letter by letter, I recommend you just go to the code which is in the description and just copy and paste this because it's kind of long. You don't really need to know how it works. All you need to know is that this is the function that we're going to use to generate our token using all of these parameters. We need to generate a token and give that to the user so we can authenticate that they're the right person to join the call and such and such. It's server side because we need to use our secret here from our env file, and we can't have that in our HTML. Next, we're going to create a post request called /token, and this will be called in our HTML code that will give the client a token they can use to join the call. Inside, we're first going to get the user ID. Next, we're going to make sure that we actually did get a user ID. So if we didn't get a user ID, we're just going to return a 400 error and tell them that there's a missing user ID. Next, let's use that actual function we had before to make a token. We're going to use our app ID, which we got from our env file, our user ID, which we got right here from our request, and our server secret, which we also got from our env file. And then the time in seconds is basically going to be how long in seconds that our token is valid for. 3,600 seconds is actually an hour, and we're going to keep the payload as just an empty string. Now we're finally just going to return that to the user, and we're going to start the server at the end of the file. We're going to use port 3000, and we're just going to print out that the server is running there so we can go there easier. Now we're finally done with the server code. We're going to go to our HTML, and we're going to have to write a bit more so we can make this all work together. We're going to make another script tag, and inside we're going to create an async function called start call we should start this with a lowercase s, and we're actually going to call this afterwards, so it gets called. First, we're going to generate a random user ID and a display name for the user. Next, we're going to get a variable where we're going to search for the room ID, or we're just going to put in test room as our room ID if there isn't one. Basically, the user is going to go to the URL, and at the end of the URL, there's going to be like a slash, and there's going to be like a room ID, and that's what we're going to use as the room that they want to go into. Or if they don't have one, we're just going to send them to the test room. Next, if you remember the token post request we made, we're actually going to be using that now, and we're going to get the response from it. We're going to give our user ID, and we're going to get our token. Let's get the data from there, so we're going to parse that as a JSON. Now we're going to build our ZEGOCLOUD kit token using ZEGOKit prebuilt.generate kit token for production, and we're going to put in all this data. These two are app ID and our token, which we got from our API we just made, our /token post request. And the other ones we get from the user, our user ID, the username, and our room ID, which we get up here. The next step is we just create our SDK instance. Last but not least, we're finally going to join the room using that container as our root, because that's how we're going to detect it. We're going to put in a shared link. This can be altered, and you guys can put whatever you want, or you can put a comma here and put in more links like this, name and URL, but we're just going to keep this just like this. It's basically just going to show the user some like button called join link with our room ID in it. We're going to be doing a video conference, and we're going to have some parameters here where we turn on our camera when joining and our microphone. And the max users is just going to be 2, but we're going to alter this. Let's make it like 4. If you come back here where you got your app ID and server secret, you guys can actually see that there's actually a bunch of things that we can alter here, with just max users being just one of the things that you can alter. You guys can add your configurations if you need to, and then we should be good to go. I'm going to run clear to clear the console, and then we're just going to write node server.js and press enter. Now we're going to right click on this. Now as you guys can see, everything works. It should ask you if you guys want to turn on your camera and your microphone. You guys can allow that. I turned it off because I don't want it to use my thing right now, but it will work. Next, you can set your username here, so we're just going to call ourselves mintype, and you guys can see the join link and this link down here. This comes directly from our code. Right here with the shared links, it comes from right there. Now we're just going to join, and now we're in our call, and we can actually duplicate this tab if we want to, and let's just join with another person, and you guys can see we got more people in the call now. Add another person, and we got 3 people. There's a bunch of features here already built in, like chat and everything, and these can all be customized. And if we try adding another person, I think we set it to 4, so this should allow it. If I actually go over here, we can see we got our microphone and camera. We can turn these on, so let's turn on our microphone, and we can actually turn it on, and other people will be able to hear us in the call. Okay, so I turn on my camera. I kind of have it a little covered for privacy reasons, but as you guys can see that it actually does work, and we can see on everyone's screen that I am sharing my video, and you guys can share your screen and what else not. Anyways, I think that sums it up for today's video. Check out the links in the description to get started with 10,000 free minutes, and adios.